Hello. It's been a while since I've recorded something. Um, so this week I got back some images from a couple of roles that I've been shooting, and well, here are some of the results. So basically, I've just been kind of walking around doing whatever and shooting whatever I come across without much of an idea in my mind, and you can tell it looking at some of these images. I need a little bit more structure. So that's why I've kind of come up with these titles for the images. Now, before I tell you those, I just wanted to just talk about how I'd be displaying them with the images. So basically, I want every page in the scene to be a double spread where I have this title scrawled across the page in some white ink. I plan on printing these images on some basic paper and then using a white marker to write the titles on physically, and then rescanning them into the images. Now, some of the titles I've come up with so far are as follows. Those who play God without permission. So basically this is kind of referencing like that 1% of the 1% that might hypothetically control society, not like in a weird Illuminati way, but like people that are stupidly rich and can kind of donate to these politicians that might do things for them, stuff like that. Next, we have a generation propped up on pills. Now, this kind of goes to the whole mental health and how kind of young people are kind of just put on these drugs to kind of numb them instead of actually dealing with their mental health issues. People packaged like meat. Now, this one's kind of referencing the whole migrant trying to cross the border into countries where it's more safe, Last year here in the UK, there were 39 dead people found in a refrigerator truck that had just been forgotten about, and they were treated, as the title says, like meat. The next one is one that I actually don't really like the wording of so far. There's a couple like this. I'm most likely going to try and reword it, but at the moment it's dissatisfied with their own narrative. This kind of goes to those people that might really rely on escapism, like they might drink to forget or abuse substances, or, have an obsession with going to the cinema or binge watching shows because they're kind of distracting themselves for their own reality because they don't like it. Next, we have the most dangerous minority, which goes back to that 1% of the 1%. We're often told by certain characters that we should be scared of minorities and all these people, but in real fact, the most dangerous minority are these rich people, which only have their wallet's best interests at mind. Next, I have a materialistic obsession. This is another one which I'm probably going to reword, but this is kind of about that obsession with having the most latest gadget, having to have an iPhone or a designer handbag, having to have the perfect table, the perfect couch. All these things were being sold or might be buying to fill some void. And these last two are also ones that I most likely want to reword. Everything must be ones and zeros. So this is kind of referencing how things might be kind of binary where everything's either yes or no. Politics is either left or right. Everything's just so absolute. Either it is or it isn't. You're on this side or you're on that side. Why can't we be in the middle? Why is this how things have gone nowadays? And lastly, I have just another statistic. This one's kind of referencing like how we're all individuals, but to a certain government or to certain companies, we're just kind of treated as statistics, as market research, as just a class band or a certain socio-economic background. People are more than just numbers, but often we aren't treated that way. So yeah, basically in this coming week, I'm going to just be shooting more but hopefully with these tiles in mind for some images. Not only am I going to be going out physically and trying to capture images which convey these themes, but I'm also going to be trying to capture them in a different way. So last week I was saying how this might not be a purely photographic based zine. It's going to be just visual communication. So what I mean by that is I want to try and capture things through kind of like the internet. Social media pages, statistics, and I also want to photograph with a scanner. For example, scan things like catalogs for the materialistic thing, or just I have this old atlas which I kind of want to use to capture the most common route a migrant might use for this people packaged like meat title. So yeah, going back to the aesthetics, I actually remembered about a piece Al Bryden is working on, one of the people that I interviewed for the mini-click series. It's called Even the Birds Were Afraid to Fly, and it's about kind of like division, especially within 2019 and the whole Brexit thing. But the way he's capturing the images is by photocopying a point and shoot pics and then kind of folding them perfectly in half to make these diptychy type things. And I just think it's really neat. It's something that I'd forgotten about, but I can clearly see how maybe subconsciously I'm totally ripping this off. But yeah, that's kind of it for this week. Next week, I should have a lot more physical things to show you. I did actually plan writing some of these titles on some of the images that I had, but my printer's broke. But I'm planning on buying one by next time, so it should be good. So yeah, thanks for watching.